Okay, so we're going to look at the student view of Google Classroom, what the teacher has already assigned. And so I'm the teacher. We're going to be looking on my daughter's account. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Google and just make sure again that you're in the right account. And so when she goes to Google, I think her classes from last year, she was in first grade, are still going to be on there, but I'll have my practice class on there as well. I went ahead and made sure that she accepted it, and there was a decline or join, so she joined it, and this is what they're going to see. I turned off my stream so my assignments don't show up on here because we don't want them getting confused on where they're supposed to turn their assignments in. So always assignments are going to be turned in and done on classwork. So when they click on classwork, they see our first week, and this is our first assignment. And again, if this was a real class, I would go ahead and put 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, or whatever days that I had assignments for. This one's due on August 28th as an example. And so here she could see me as the teacher on her people, and she can email me if she had any questions about that. So back to the classwork, there's a place on here. If we go into the assignment, it's going to say watch the video. So I pretended to upload a video. It would be on here too. And then there's an assignment or a document about me. So she clicks on it and she sees my document. And here she's going to be able to write back, say, we're pretending the video said, write a paragraph about what you did this summer. So she would say, I'm just pretending, Tinley, and I am 7. If your students have or are younger or have difficulty writing, there are tools up here, and there is a voice to type option. I'm on my recorder right now with my voice already activated on this computer, so I can't do it twice because it's just going to pick up once. But if they needed to, there is a voice to type. I use this with some of my special needs students who have dyslexia or other problems of typing or vision problems, so they're able to hit Control Shift S all at the same time, hold it down, and it does bring up the voice to type. And so that way it recognizes their voice. They talk into the microphone, which is on my computer, my laptop, for instance, is up by the camera, but it does type for them. So that's a great way to modify some of the assignments. And so if there's a reading problem or something like that, you could just record the video, they could watch it, and then come to here, click on the one assignment, and then voice typing, and it does that for them. Just so you know, I just thought I'd throw that out there. You also have for my older kids, they have to write 500 words or whatever it may be. So it does have your word count here. And there is a spell check, which students, for some reason, forget to go to because I'm really big about spelling and grammar. But that is where their spell check is. So they have all the options on here as well. There's even a dictionary. So my older kids, we go through all this, so there's no excuse for it. But anyway, so I used an 8th grade document that I had from last year, but we're pretending that this isn't about you, and the video that I would have posted would have said, tell me about yourself. So I'm Tinley, I'm 7, I live in Arkansas. Sure. Okay, so whatever it is, they will turn it in. There's a share button, so our students were told, do not turn this in or share it. They only turn it in. So she would turn that in, and it needs to go to the right account. And I think I'm signed in on my other account. I may have to redo this video. Make sure I'm in her account. Okay. So here's their work. Do you want to turn it in? Yes, turn it in. And if they did forget something or they want to go back and add to it, they are allowed to unsubmit. They can write you comments. I just tell my kids, go back, fix it, turn it in when you get done. Then they can go back and click on their work and see their work that they did. So it's always there. And then on our end, on the teacher side of it, let me jump back over to me because I am signed out. But on our end of it, we would see this. Here's our practice class. Here is our classwork. And I would see that one person, which it was only assigned to one person, has turned it in. Here's her work, and I can go back and read it and stuff. The great thing about this on our end anyway for grading is you can make notes, you can return it, add a private comment to it, type on there, hey, fix this or whatever, make a little note to the side, add a comment bar. So if I want to fix this and tell her, tell me more, maybe I could comment on that, and that comment is going to be there on the side as well. So she'll see that, and then we can return it. We can turn it in, which I did not assign a grade for it, so I do return it and just let them know, you know, got it, the notes on there, or I might put something like, I got it, thanks. Okay, and then also when they're working on it, you'll see her little icon right here. She's still logged in on my other tab, so it looks like she's working on it. So we can go over here. She sees, this is her version, so she sees where I commented on that. So if I said, tell me more, and she could say, yeah, well, she did this wrong. I meant to make that a spell check too, but I forgot to put that on here and add that. But anyway, I have 2 dogs. I don't know, just something. Okay, she told me more. So we're going to check that as done. And so on our end as a teacher, we can see that she corrected, or I meant to make that a spell check and then I forgot, but she corrected it and it's done. She added to it now. And here's a fun thing about this too. So here's what I wrote. Here's what she went back and said, and then we also have our tools up here that we can use. And so if there was a document outline, it would tell us, you know, everything over here, which my older kids do. She's in 1st grade. She's probably not going to have one. Here's the history of the document. So we can also see where it was returned. It was turned in, it was assigned, all that kind of stuff. When they start working on it, it's really great to have that because they, oh, I worked for 2 hours, and you can say, no, you didn't, you copy and pasted, or, you know, whatever. We can see that there. So that's really nice to have. So I use that a lot, actually. Anyway, so we'll minimize that and take this off. So it's graded. Here's the teacher version of it where it's been returned. And then if you need to email a list of students who maybe all kind of made the same mistake or whatever, you can hit the email button and it highlights your students here who you have returned, or if they did not return it. So they get to see that. So that's kind of both versions and what we see, what they see, and when it's done. So here is her version of it. So you see the little T up here, so it's under Tinley. It shows where it was returned. She can still go back and fix it and then resubmit it again. She can still add comments to it. You can add a class comment, you know, which I took that off for the students. Excuse me. But it's been turned in. So at this point, I would take this assignment and then I would put it into my teacher grade book through the school, which is what goes to our counselor, State Department, stuff like that. That counts towards their GPA and everything, not Google Classroom, because I just don't use it. And I feel that my teacher grade book at school is more, it's better documented. It has more detail to it. Our special education department can see it versus they cannot see this. And it just kind of is easier for us at our school anyway. So that's what it looks like from both views of it. This is still logged into Tinley. This is my teacher version. So once the students, you know, who's turned it in, who was assigned, who actually it was returned to, so that shows me that I graded my work. And at that point, I would have put it into the grade book at school. Over here, you can download it. If it's easier, if you do, use the gradebook on Google Classroom, which I did this for a little while, but I used the gradebook and I would give them credit, and then I would go and download the grades into Google Sheets, like an Excel document or whatever, or even a CSV file, and then I would print it. That way I had a printed document and could highlight or check off the ones that I did get into the gradebook, or if I needed to stop kind of where my cutoff was, and I could pick up and finish grading later. So that it is good for some things like that. I just I don't use it personally. Just me personally, I don't use it. I'm good about just keeping my tabs open and switching back and forth and going through and checking off what I've got done, and then putting it in my grade book at school. So that's just me. Anyway. Okay. So this is my version. Let's go back to the student version. So whenever she completes her work and goes to her weekly assignments, whatever her assignments are, it will show this, and it's got the check mark, so that shows that it's done. She can still see the details of it from the student version. Parents would be able to see and get an email that it was done, and then if there was a grade attached to it, they would see that as well. So there's a to-do, which would take all your coursework from all the classes assigned, which these are old from April anyway, and these were the assignments that were given out by her teachers at school when we left for the virus, and it has all classes. They can go back and narrow it down to a specific class, and for this one, she's got her assignment done, so it says, woohoo, no work to do. So everything, they want to go back and check it. It says done, it's done. Just an easier way for the kids to kind of keep up with it and stuff too. So for the teacher view, let's talk about that. Whenever a course is done at the end of the year and you're like, I had a really good year with this, I really like my assignments, and you can, which this is mine. So I have all the way down to 8th period. Some classes have a fall and spring semester, so that would be 2 7th period classes, 1 fall, 1 spring, or whatever the situation is. We can go to our classes up here, and I'm going to archive this class. And yes, it doesn't delete it, it archives it. So whenever you want to go back and you had a really good couple lessons, you want to pull them back, you can do that. And they're down here in archived classes, and they look kind of funny, but it's still here and you can still see your assignments and classwork. It's still there. There's the one we just made. But I would show you, it's probably really embarrassing to show you all my archived classes because I keep them for a long time just because if I want to go back and pull something, I can. So here's my classes for this year, 2021 that I've got done. And then once it's archived on the student version of it, let me get rid of her document. And here's her classes. So we're going to go back to her classes, and here's her 2 old classes from the spring that are already done, but my class, the fake class, the practice class I made is not showing up anymore because I archived it. So that's good. It's still here where she can see it under archived, and then our art teacher has one, it's been archived, but once I delete it, it's going to be gone. A lot of students don't even realize that they can see their archived classes, but they can. You can't turn any work, you can't do anything on them. They're there, but you can't really do anything. So anyway, here's my classes. Another fun fact, I guess, about about this is attached to your account, you have a folder. So whenever I save anything into, let me pull something. Can't remember the last folder I made, but into a folder. Well, I don't have one here, but every document that's connected to an assignment is going to go into this 8th period child care guidance for me anyway, and I can pull folders into it and move them and rename them, and you can color them and highlight whatever. You can share them with people, you can get the link for it and organize it that way. But all your classes, when you save a class or an assignment to a class, then it shows up there for you. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to restore this class. Yes, I want to restore it. And then show you what that looks like. So here's this, and the parenting practice one that I had. So here is the assignment that I just assigned my daughter, Tinley, and the one that she did. So whenever you have and you make a good assignment and a good document, you don't lose it. And so you can go back and still find it, even if it's been archived or whatever, it's still there. It's not going to go away. If you want to delete it, you can. That's fine. If you want to share it, you can. And there's a link or whatever. So you're not going to lose your work just because it's been archived. But then after you archive it, and I made some extra courses, let me do this and show you what archive. After you archive it, you can go back into your archives and then delete your actual course. So here's the practice ones I made earlier. I can delete it, and it's like, do you want to delete it? You're going to lose all your access. You're going to lose your comments. You're going to lose, it says class files will remain on Google Drive, but once you have deleted the class itself, it's not, you can't undo it. So this is just a pre-practice class, I guess. So it's gone. But just to embarrass myself, here are all my archived classes that I made things for and I did not want to get rid of. One day I'll be comfortable enough to delete them for real, but right now I'm not. I save everything. So I do go back and use them a lot. But that's our teacher view of it. And like I said, you can drag and drop and create and save and go back and redo, and it's all going to be okay. You're not going to lose it. So that's good to know. Okay, well, Miss Tinley is going to log out of her account and probably use hers later. But anyway, that's kind of how we're doing things here at Ouachita. Feel free to use it and show to whoever that can use it. Thanks.